I'm in Shenandoah National Park, and this is Elkwallow Gap. This is mile marker 24. Over here's the wayside. They have food and stuff over there, and quite a bit of parking. And there's the Blue Bomber in all its radiant glory. And I'm going to close the Bomber up and head over there across Skyline Drive into the woods, because on one of the old maps it looked like there was an old road over there and possibly a homestead. So between the old map and the LiDAR displays, I got some waypoints over there. I'm going to go take a look and see what's over there. It's not very far, so it's too early to really be doing this, and too early in the season because there's still a lot of ground cover that hasn't dropped off yet. But I was just going to take a quick look. Everybody relax. Well, where I wanted to go in, right there where the bend is, I wanted to go into the woods there, but that's crazy overgrown. So I came up here. I'm going to head up this road a short distance and see if I can cut back over. There's a survey benchmark. Boy, it's all crumbling. The concrete, maybe somebody hit it. Okay, well there's a little access road, but it's crazy overgrown where I want to go, which is over that way. So I'm going to backtrack again and head south on Skyline Drive, which is down this way. I'm going to go past my turnoff point and see if it looks any better over there on that side. So my first waypoint for the old road is straight ahead, about 1/10 of a mile. Nah, it's not going to work. I'm going to come over here at the next ridge and look down this way and see if I can go around it. I'm in Shenandoah National Park, and this is the Elkwallow Gap picnic area. There's the Blue Bomber. This is mile marker 24. Going to close up the Bomber and go down here and get on the Appalachian Trail and follow that down a couple tenths of a mile until I see a spring running across the trail. Then I'm going to turn left and head back up this way looking for an old homestead. The elevation here is 2,400 feet. Two-tenths of a mile into my hike, down to 2,300 feet. Been descending fairly steadily. And up there where that's where I came from, and right there where that bend in the road is up there is a trace of an old road. I'm going back up there in a second, but first I'll get some pictures of the spring. There's a spring here, and then up there at the bend is the old road, and I'm going to try and bushwhack up there and see if I can find a trace of an old homestead. And then on the other side of the road, over this way, is where one of the old Appalachian Trail shelters used to be. Over there. I'll point that out when I do the map talk. There's the spring. Not a whole lot of water coming out of it at the moment, but it is coming out. There's another pipe just above it that's dry. But this whole area down here is all wet and soggy. So I'm going to go back up there a little ways and see if I can follow that old road up here. 600 feet or so, and see if I see any evidence of an old homestead. Okay, and back up here where the road was. Over here on this side, we're heading to the old AT shelter, which isn't there anymore. Maybe you can see under there, kind of cleared out looking. So that's on one side of the road. The other side, it doesn't look like it, but this is it heading up this way. I think what I'm going to do is go a little above the road because it looks pretty nasty through there. Maybe I can get up in that area if I'm a little above the road. So let's head up this way. Okay, well, I'm back up onto the road now. It's still a little too early in the season to be doing this. See all this ground cover that's still obscuring my vision? I can't see much, but trees blown across it, the road. So I'm going to go up this way a little higher up and go around. Four-tenths of a mile into my hike. I'm up to 2,370 feet. I'm up where thought I was seeing something on LiDAR. If there was anything up here like a homestead, there's no, I'll do a 360. There's no evidence of it. Down there's the road and the drainage. That's looking back up towards Skyline Drive. There's a little bit of a ridge line there. Between that ridge line and that sharp drop off right there, that might have been what was showing up on the LiDAR, because it records changes in elevation. It was hard getting up here through all the overgrowth though, so I think what I'm going to do is if I can find hiking like this, I'll bushwhack my way back down to the Appalachian Trail this way. Seven-tenths of a mile into my hike. I'm basically back to where I started the bushwhack. The elevation here is 2310. Right over there is the spring. And the road I bushwhacked up is that one. Got all the way up there to my coordinates where I wanted to look. Found a nice flat spot up there. I'll try and remember to mark that on my map. That'd be a good place for like a bushwhack overnighter. It would have to be dry though. You'd have to come down here to get your water, but it's not that far away. Anyway, that's the direction I came from. And I'm gonna, since I'm here, I'm gonna head over this way to the site of where the old AT shelter was. There isn't really any evidence of it, but there's two different spots over here I'm going to take a look at. Okay, well, I'm standing in the road. That's the way I came from off the AT. And I'm back in here just a couple of 100 yards. And the road apparently ends right here in this area. Now look up through here how cleared out this is. I don't see any evidence of anything, but that'd be a good place to put it. You got the road coming in here, stops right in here somewhere. And then if you look up here, there's no big trees up here. Oh, look at the colors on that one right there. Nice. Anyway, yeah, so everything's totally overgrown except right here. There's this huge cleared out area. So I'm pretty sure this is where it was. I'll look around, see if I see any rock piles, but I don't see any just standing right here. Although that growth right there is kind of interesting. Let's go up there and take a look at that. It's kind of hard to tell with all this ground cover still around, but this area here, starting over about there, and coming around, looks dug out to me. Not a lot, but a little bit. But it's not real sloped here either. Dug out maybe over close to that big tree. And now that I'm looking at that, there where all that undergrowth is, all that brush, that looks a little bit dug out and leveled off too. I could be imagining things, but this is, I'll look on the map when I get home. This is real close to where the 1994 map said this shelter was. And another thing before I leave this area, up there is that big tree where I said the digging was, which was over there in that area. And there's all these trees laying across the ground here, and they all just happen to be magically laying across the same way. There's one there, laying left to right. Here's another one, left to right. There's another one right here. They're all lined up, laying the same way. I wonder how that happened. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Thornton Gap, 1994. And I went to investigate a couple of, I'm going to call them figures that I saw on LiDAR in this area. So I'm not sure if they were homesteads or not, but this one is right there, and it was on Tract 17, owned by a Brumback, and the other one's on the other side of the road, located about there. This is on Brumback Tract 71A. This dotted line here is a road that is shown on the Stony Man 1929 map going down this way. And it goes all the way down to the Thornton River, which is south of here. This is Elkwallow Gap. I parked here at the Elkwallow Wayside. There's some bathrooms, and there's also a gift shop and a grill located here with food. I parked here and I came over here and I was going to try and hike down through here, but this is just way too overgrown. So I came over this way to the east a little bit, and there's a service road that's not shown on the map. I came in here and looked down here and decided I couldn't go that way either. So then I backed out, came over to here, and I pushed my way up here on this ridge a little ways. And it might be possible in the dead of winter to get down there from this side right here. So, but it's still too overgrown to go down through there. I mean, you can't, even if you could get down here, you couldn't see anything. So still too much underbrush that needs to die down for the winter. So I canceled that hike. Then I got in my car and I drove over here into the picnic area and parked here. It got out, got on the Appalachian Trail, came down to here. There's a spring here, showed the spring. Then I started bushwhacking up this road, which was really hard to do. Got over to here. This is a nice flat zone up here, but I didn't find anything up here. I think just the terrain itself was causing something to show up on the LiDAR. So I didn't see anything up there. This would be a good place, though, if you wanted to do an overnight camping thing. It would be a good place to do it. It's nice and flat up there. Your closest water would be down here to where the spring is. Instead of going back this way, which would have been really hard, I just bushwhacked down the side of the mountain here, knowing that I'd eventually run into the AT. Followed the AT back around to here, and then I pushed in this way, which is this road extends across over here to the other side and stops right here where the Elkwallow shelter used to be. It was removed years ago, but you can still tell where it was. I showed that in the video. And then back up to my car. The Tract 17 hike, which was this one right here, was 1.1 miles and a total ascent of 230 feet. So I didn't find anything that I was hoping to find, but I guess knowing that there's nothing there is worth mentioning. And that was the hike for today.